Shouts out to electricity.
Channel 5.
Oh, Andrew from Channel 5.
Shout out unusual meme compilation.
Oh, unusual memes.
Reusing old buttons instead of buying new pants.
Shout out having an old pair of jeans and then cutting them to be shorts and wearing them as shorts for 2 more years.
Hell yeah, dude.
Same thing with t-shirts too, ripping off the sleeves.
Shout out to ripping the sleeves. This Cryptid Era shirt that I have right here, I bought it last night. I have never had a tougher time ripping a sleeve off a t-shirt.
It's a well-made shirt.
This is a really good t-shirt. I should not have done this. Shout out Cryptid Era for getting good t-shirts. I'm sorry for ripping your sleeves off.
Welcome to the 166th episode of the Cast That Ends Creation. I'm your host, Chris Deering. This is the show where I interview bands and public figures from the Mathcore adjacent community. If you enjoy this content, please like, subscribe, do all the things social. Every little bit helps. And feel free to join us every Sunday and Wednesday for the live cast where you can interact with the guests and stuff in real time or just hang out in the chat. You can also subscribe to this Twitch channel for just $5 to get access to the interviews before they hit YouTube and other streaming platforms, as well as get some exclusive emotes. You can also do that for free by attaching Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. It's like taking $5 from Jeff Bezos' pocket and putting it into mine. With that out of the way, let me introduce our guest today who dropped their new album, All These Darlings and Now Me, last Friday through Dart Show Records. Welcome in, Sunflo'er. How's it going?
Hello.
Hey.
Thank you guys for coming here. It looks like the chat's here spamming Jeff as I figured this was going to happen. Probably gonna happen.
Who the fuck is this Jeff guy?
We've been trying to figure it out the whole time.
You guys want to tell us who you are, what you do in the band?
We're Sunflo'er. And I'm Jeff. I do auxiliary percussion and vocals.
Auxiliary percussion, that's what you call a tambo. Okay.
Yep. Sounds smart.
I'm Jim, and I play bass and do some backup vocals.
I'm Carter. I play guitar and also do some backup vocals.
I'm Ethan, and I play drums and also backup vocals.
Ethan, your face is currently split in half. I don't know if you're able to lean more to your left or whatever to get. There we go. There's that beautiful mug. But I don't know if there's a better way for you to get in the shot or whatever.
Okay.
So that looks good. You're beautiful. So Rate Your Music says you guys started in 2010. Is that right?
Yeah. We've been
Holy
playing
shit! I didn't know you were that old. Like the band was that old. That's insane. I thought it was kind of more like 2018. So how did you guys come together?
Carter and I were playing in another band when we were both in college.
Not hardcore.
Not a hardcore band, just a stupid fucking, I don't know.
Whole thing. Yep.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. And then when I graduated, we decided to start this hardcore, weird sort of grindcore band. Originally, we were called Collisions in Gray and Red. It was me, Carter, our buddy, our original vocalist, Sam, and our friend DJ. And then we recorded our first demo under that name, and Jim joined after we recorded that. And then a couple of years later, we changed the name.
Okay. So started out as a weird grind band. Can we find that music anywhere?
Yeah.
It's on the Bandcamp.
Yeah. It's under the Collisions years. It's just a compilation of all those early.
Okay, no, I saw that, and I couldn't find like the release on like Rate Your Music or whatever. I was actually going to ask about that. That's coming up on here.
Yeah, it's the first couple of tracks are the first 4 tracks we recorded ourselves in a house that we all lived in together that first summer that we started the band. The next 3 tracks were an EP that we recorded that we never actually released until we put together this compilation. There were a lot of problems with the recording and
the whole thing.
It was just the whole thing. And then the next 6 tracks were an EP that we recorded called Mary Mary. And then after we recorded that, our original vocalist left. So that kind of like created all these problems with releasing it. We didn't really know what to do with it. And then we kind of just put it out digitally as one compilation.
Interesting. So why did y'all change your name then? Just because the singer left, or?
Well, no, that was a suggestion from when we recorded 1963. We were shopping it around, and a record label by the name of Magnetic Eye Records ended up putting that out for us. And the owner of that label suggested we change our name, which certainly I at the time was like, wait. It was Ethan and Sam that came up with that original name, and none of us had any say. So I was glad to just be at the table.
That's not true.
The original
name.
Yes, the original name.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
To be fair, I like Sunflo'er way better than.
Yeah,
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah.
Why? How did y'all come up with Sunflo'er? Like, I guess you just like sunflowers, or what's going on?
That was you, right?
Yeah, I think I was just I was working a radio station job at the time, and I had like a 40-minute commute, so like a lot of time to think on the way to work and the way home. And we've been the label had suggested we change the name. It's just something I thought about when I was driving home one day, and it kind of made its way into this big long list of like 20 different names that we were mulling about, and that one kind of, for whatever reason, was the top contender.
We're gonna have to go over the chat a little bit. Things are getting kind of crazy.
What?
Escargo Wells Fargo wants to know if y'all could play a Halloween show on October 28th.
Oh.
Elvis says that y'all 15 and Jeff is 20. Pedestrian Tony says you're a Lizzie McGuire cover band.
True.
And Really Ticklish says fuck this band fucks with a pig emoji. Oh no, that's not a pig emoji. It's a sweating emoji. That looks like a pig. And yeah, basically caught up. So it's Sunflo'er, right? Not Sun or I've heard
Right.
other pronunciations. Okay, cool.
It's our own fault.
It's impossible to Google.
I was gonna say it's really hard to actually like find your stuff. I even like went to YouTube and just did Sunflo'er with the apostrophe and without the apostrophe, and it was impossible to find your videos. I had to go to Mathcore Index to find your videos.
The trick is when you're looking for it, it says search instead for what you actually typed in, because it's like, oh no, they meant sunflower.
Yeah.
When you I think someone told me this. They Googled Sunflo'er no hell, and Google was like, "Are you sure you didn't mean sunflower no shell?" Which makes sense.
That's so good.
Honestly, a better band name and album title.
I really like it though. I think the band name's perfect.
Shout out Really Ticklish. That's my boy Joey. He's a cartoonist. He's fantastic.
Is he ticklish?
Glad he's actually in the chat. That's awesome.
Is he really ticklish or?
I've never tried. He's incredibly scary.
Okay.
He's covered in tattoos. I met him at hardcore shows. He was the scary guy at hardcore shows. Now he's a lovable cartoonist.
So yeah, you dropped your debut in 2015. Then you did 2 comps that I wanted to go over real quick. I guess they're like recreations of albums. I didn't even know this was like a thing that record labels did. But you did one for Helmet to Meantime and one for Pink Floyd's The Wall. You did Bring the Boys Back Home for Pink Floyd's The Wall, and you didn't even like sing like the one line that's actually in the song. So what's going on with these comps?
Jeff wasn't there.
I
Jeff
have no say in this part.
All right, so the label that we were on, which was Magnetic Eye, part of their business model was to do these compilations, recreating old records just with individual artists for each track. We got approached about doing one for the Helmet compilation, and somehow no one wanted to take Unsung,
Right.
which like I don't like Helmet.
Fucking loser.
Whatever, I don't give a fuck.
I've listened to him before, so yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, but that song Unsung was like in Guitar Hero and stuff. So we were like, how has no one taken the song yet? So we took it. We recorded up at Apartment 2 in Ottawa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck the Facts. So Apartment 2 is owned by Topon Das, and Fuck the Facts is also
okay.
Fuck the Facts is also on that compilation because of our connection with recording with Topon. And
Right.
so that there was just like some small connections there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So we kind of worked on the arrangement over the course of like 2 afternoons, and then just went up and banged it out in Ottawa in an afternoon. And then the Bring the Boys Back Home one was a similar deal.
We were fucking broke.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we just wanted to do a version that was unusual, and we were kind of in a weird spot already with Magnetic Eye at the time, coming into, but we ended up, the bass recording was just Ethan and me, him playing drums and me playing guitar in the basement of the bottom floor of the place we were living. And then Ethan added saxophone on it. We composed that together, and Jim came through with the bass line on it. And it just seemed much more because it's like, how can you outdo that original recording of Bring the Boys Back Home? They have like a whole choir and like all this shit.
True.
So it's like, so we kind of opted for this weird ambient jazz version. I think I was listening to a lot of Bourne and Club of Gore at the time, and that really influenced it.
Okay.
And so we just realized we could do it ourselves, and the lo-fi quality kind of served it. And
Yeah.
we didn't need to compete with anybody.
We just set up a condenser mic in the middle of the room between me and Carter. I put some wool socks on my bass drum beater, and used like a reed stick, and it came together kind of like in a night.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it doesn't sound bad at all. Like, you know,
Yep.
based on what y'all had to. Good shit.
Thanks.
So then you dropped your second album, No Hell, in 2018, and you had a remaster in 2021. I kind of remember there being vinyl and stuff. No, there was
Yep.
vinyl. There was 100% vinyl. Yeah. Was that from like the remaster, I imagine?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So after that, you did like a 4-year break before you did this album. So what have you been doing for 4
It was like a really weird time, I think, for not only us but everybody. After we finished recording No Hell,
We toured.
yeah, we played a tour,
And it was like our first, we broke even kind of on this tour, and the shows were so much fun. It was, in the grand scheme of things, a small investment, and we met so many wonderful people. I think it was our first experience of really feeling like a band on tour. We took Jeff with us, to take photos, and that's how this whole romance started. And so, that we really rode that for a year or two. It was a really busy time. I was just beginning my teaching career, and Ethan was switching jobs. I mean, all of us, it's just like, it's hard to play in a band,
Yeah. Well, it also took just a long fucking time to write this new record.
Yeah.
I mean, we started writing it before the pandemic.
Like the day, like the week of, I feel like.
It was, I mean, we were like fucking around with some stuff for like
Right.
a couple months beforehand, but we didn't really have anything solid except for Bay Area Rockers was kind of like in its infancy.
Yeah.
And then once that happened, we couldn't play at our practice space anymore. We didn't really know what we were going to do. But yeah, it took us like 2 years to write the whole thing. Last summer, we went to an Airbnb in central New York, and we had kind of like the skeleton of most of the songs, but we had never really played all of them together. So we just we rented an Airbnb for a week. Yeah, it
was 5 days.
It was only
4
4 days.
Yeah.
4 full days. Yeah.
4 full days.
Yeah,
And
the first day, the first day or the fifth was like a half day.
Yeah,
We just got
yeah.
there and unloaded.
And then most of the, I would say like a huge part of that record came out of just those 4 days.
Yeah.
And then vocals on top of it.
The
and stuff.
whole the drift away thing straight to VHS actually came from that Airbnb experience. We went to like Walmart or like the gas station to get like beer and food and shit. And on the way back, I think it was the Uncle Cracker version that was playing, and we were singing along. We were like, and Ethan was like, "Jeff, put that at the beginning of the song." And I was like, "Okay, but I like this other version better." He's like, "It doesn't matter, just do that." I'm like, "Okay."
And it's stuck. And
Dude,
it's never
I
been
think that's
anything
one of the
since.
best parts of the album, honestly, is that
Thanks.
beginning
It sucks.
part.
There's
It's
a
so
lot of
good.
really good parts.
No, it's such a good intro to the album. Like, seriously, it's so good.
Thanks, Chris.
Ethan, you're definitely getting cut off a lot. I don't know if we can push the couch maybe over or pull the
Yeah.
camera back just a little bit.
Oh, actually, yeah. Am I being cut off? Where am I cut
No,
off?
you're
Where
good.
am I
You're
cut?
perfect. You're perfect. It's just Ethan that was getting chopped down the middle.
Is that better?
You could tilt it to the right just a little. Oh, there you go. Okay, yeah. There we go. Perfect. That's good.
Sick. Thank you. Thanks, John. Our tech guru,
Yes.
John Wett.
Which, this is a quick unplanned side excursion. John, get your face in the camera right now. John, this is a good longtime friend, John Went, who is our 5th person on the tour right now, who did some incredible AI generated images that were plotted and printed out onto one-of-a-kind prints that he's been selling along the tour. And we are just like so ecstatic to have him along with us and to have this like for people to just see this on the merch table, even if they're not going to buy it, is whoa, this is it's been exciting for us. I'll leave it at
Okay,
that.
is there a place we can check it out,
Based on
or
each song too?
Yeah,
that in.
Yeah,
too.
each print, there's 9 of them. Well, there's like what, 6 of them left?
Jeff, drop John's Instagram in the chat. We're gonna drop John's Instagram handle in the Twitch chat.
Yeah.
Okay,
With
okay.
Dryden.
Yeah.
They've been coming out like one day at a time, basically.
Yes.
But you can see them at the stops on tour.
Yeah.
And 3 of them have already sold. So
okay, nice. Better get on that.
Oh.
Better get on it.
that's right.
Yep.
Hunter from Terracell wants to know who has the best facial hair combo.
Jim.
What do y'all think?
I can't grow facial hair
Yeah.
yet, Jim.
It's
I think
Jim.
so.
It's Jim.
Yo, what's up, Hunter? Love you, man.
Hunter is putting out tapes for us
Yeah.
through Soft Grit.
Yep.
Oh, hell
Also, new charger port, new Terracell. Fantastic stuff.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
New Sunflo'er. Who's All These Darlings and Now Me, now streaming on Apple Music, Spotify.
I heard that all sucked. I don't know.
BearShare, LimeWire. You can probably get it up to your
LimeWire.
volume. It's not on Reverb Nation though. Don't go to Reverb Nation looking for this album.
So, how did you end up joining the band?
Well, you see, so I've been a fan of this band for a while. I think I saw you guys for the first time in 2018 when
Yeah.
I was in Goner.
Yeah.
God rest their soul, I guess. Just like we played. Are they? I don't know. we played a show together, and I was immediately enamored. Just like, whoa, you can do this with 3 people. That's wild. So I became really good friends with them. Went to every show they played, kind of towards my area. Like they'd play in Albany, and I would go to every show. And they released No Hell, and I was like, whoa, it gets better. So I got lyrics tattooed on me. Had a really fun summer of 2019 as a free agent, not doing fucking nothing. Went on tour with them as their photographer, sang a couple songs because they got tired. And then COVID happened. I was on a nice. Just for background, for anyone that's not Chris or the people that are sitting next to me, I travel a lot for work, and it sucks, and I'm just all over the place. So like traveling on a tour was a great little break. But fast forwarding to the pandemic, it was like, okay, I'm going to be off for 2 weeks. And then it became, I'm on vacation for 3 months, and that fucking rocks. But when everything started shutting down, they had 2 shows planned for May 21st and 23rd. One of them was in Binghamton.
Yes.
Where was the other news?
We had one at home that got canceled. We had one in Binghamton that was supposed to be Fuck the Facts.
Yeah.
And that was canceled.
Yeah.
There was one with Fat Ash too. Or was that the
That was
Fuck
the
the
same
Facts show?
one.
Okay.
That was the same
Yeah.
one.
But there were 2 shows, and my birthday was literally the day between those 2 shows. So I was like, okay, I'll go see them on that day. We'll hang out on my birthday. They can spend the night in my house. We can drink. We can have a fire. We can have fun. My birthday's in the summer. Like, it's nice. But, everything started getting canceled. So on my birthday, I think Ethan called me or texted me and said, hey, do you have Zoom? Shout out Zoom. We're on it right now. Do you have Zoom? Let's, hang out via that because we can't hang out in person right now. And I was like, okay, awesome. And they just kind of bombarded me and said, hey, we're going to break your goddamn legs if you don't say yes. Do you want to be in the band? And I said, I don't know. And Ethan gave me a rug burn on my arm.
Virtually.
And then I was like, okay. And then I joined and we hung out a couple times and nothing really happened for like 6 months.
Yeah.
We didn't do anything until we did the Airbnb thing.
We did those live streams with you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we
right,
did a couple
right.
live
There
streams
were-
from the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like we didn't practice any new material. It was just the songs they had
Yeah.
already been playing forever.
Yeah.
And I think the Airbnb was really the first time where it was like these songs that were in their Google Drive folder that they sent me were like more fleshed out,
Mhm.
Yeah.
as he was saying earlier. But it was a lot of just like file sharing after they asked me. They were like, okay, give us your email. Oh, you have an AIM email address?
What?
Never seen one of those in the last 5 years. But
The oldest one
yeah.
I've seen is a Hotmail address. I didn't even know AIM. You could use AIM anymore.
I go to AOL Mail now to log in,
What
but
the
you can
fuck?
still use it. I use it for like some stuff.
Good to know.
If I don't want to sign up for your mailing list, it's going to that email.
Okay.
Base Dad XM in chat says all these darlings are now me. Album of the year, by the way.
hell yeah.
Man,
That's
Hell
sick.
yeah.
that means a lot.
He says it came out a few days before his birthday, so he considers it his birthday present.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
hell yeah. Good for
Uh,
that.
Brandon from Sterling says, Chris tells Sunflo'er to come to Maine and I'll feed them whoopie pies with my hands.
Okay. Yeah.
Compelling. Yeah.
And really
see you
ticklish
there.
wants to know if Jeff is drinking Utica Club, because he better be.
I am drinking Utica Club because Ethan bullied me into buying way more than I needed to.
Exactly as much as we needed.
This is actually the last one, I think.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm drinking Utica Club. First beer sold after Prohibition. Shout out.
So, wait, is it really the first beer sold? Oh, yeah, you were telling me about this when I was up there.
Yeah, I gave you
I
one.
remember this was a thing, yeah.
Did you like it?
I don't remember, man. It was like, the whole tour is a
Must have
huge
been
bore.
good.
Obviously left a fucking impression.
Yeah. I don't remember if it was good. Well, then you drank a lot.
So you guys worked with Dark Trail Records for this release. How's that experience been? I know you guys have been friends with Christian for a long time, but how's the whole thing been going?
It's been fucking awesome.
Christian's a
That's been great.
sweetheart.
He's a pro. He's a real pro. Yeah.
Honestly, like every other time that we've done a release, it's been really strange because, as Carter said earlier, the first time we put out an album through a label, we had already recorded it and then we just kind of shopped it around, and then that took a while to like really solidify and make plans more definite. And then when it happened, we weren't really like super satisfied with it. And then after that kind of collapsed, we had recorded No Hell, our second LP, anticipating that we put it out through Magnetic Eye. That fell through. Then we kind of had to backtrack like 10 paces and ended up putting it out through
Noise Salvation.
Through Noise Salvation, which is owned by Topan Das, Fuck the Facts, Apartment 2, where we recorded it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he did us a huge solid in putting it out. The release was fantastic. We've put it out on CD with a zine and digital and stuff, which was super fun and super awesome. And there was like never any contract. There was never like an album deal or anything like that. So when we started recording and writing, or when we started writing and recording this one, we didn't really know what we were going to do with it, but we had shared some demos with Christian from Dark Trail. And he was like, yo, if this is all as good as these demos you're showing me, this might be a Dark Trail release. So we talked a little bit about it, but again, nothing definitive. And then once we spent the first day in the studio, we sent him like 3 of the rough bounces. And like that night, he was like, yep, this is the next record.
Yeah.
Was it the first night that we did
Nice.
vocals and everything?
Maybe a few things.
So it must have been all the title track, Straight to VHS, Crypt Fucker.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I think it was those 3.
Bombastic Return to Form. No, we did 4 because I did half one day and half another.
Yeah. So really early in the recording process, we had sent stuff to Christian and he immediately started planning for this to be his next release. And since then it's been fucking fantastic.
I don't think we fit at all in Dark Trail's roster. I don't think of
you
this
definitely
as a mathcore band. We're just having fun. We're playing loud music. Like when I think of mathcore, I think of like thinking really hard about writing music, and this isn't what it was. It was like just trying to fit stuff together.
I think that's usually been the case for us though. Like Magnetic Eye did mostly like sludge and stoner shit. And then Noise Salvation was Topon's label. So they just did grindcore and
some ambient stuff.
like
stuff. Murderata.
Yeah. And this is like very much like a weird rock and roll record, I think.
Bro.
Well, we were definitely going to get in.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to get into like where you guys fit and stuff. Actually, in the next little segment here.
One last thing about Christian is just like it was incredible working with him because dude just loves music.
Yeah.
And it's just it's just great to hear him be excited about us and like tons of other bands as we're working together. He's just like, oh, you got to check this out, or like you got to see this. Like, can't wait to put this out. It's like, hell yeah, dude. And knowing that he just gets so stoked.
Works so hard.
And works so hard.
Yeah.
Works so hard. Just like he's just doing it as a pleasure project. It's so fucking crazy. The whole Mathcore Index thing, like it's just No one has to pay for him to share your album. Your album just has to be kind of good.
Yeah. Even when he was on vacation in Hawaii, there were a couple times where he was
Yeah.
like sending us text messages about stuff. It's like, dude, fucking
Enjoy your vacation.
Leave us alone. Like,
Yeah.
So, what is different this time around, aside from Jeff being on the record, obviously? What's different this time around than on No Hell?
They aren't doing many
Jim,
vocals
wait,
at all, I guess.
Jim, go for it.
I think for bass and drums, I think me and Ethan have really figured out how to add to the guitar parts that are going on this time around. I think everything that we've done before, it's always been us trying to do what we thought would be a cool part for the instruments that we're playing. And that kind of created a situation where all the parts are cool, but not really meshing together perfectly. And I think this time around, we figured out how to really add to the guitar and vocals at a bass and drums kind of perspective.
Okay.
Instead of like trying to take away attention from guitar, which I know from playing bass, people are paying attention to more anyway. So
yeah. But I think on that note, like, I know that for me, you know, the big difference is that whenever we wrote stuff previously, most of the composition was being done like all together in a room, like playing loud together. Whereas this time, a lot of the writing that I did on drums was just playing along to like the same scratch track over and over and over and over and over again. So like just playing the same 15 seconds for like 2 hours to try to really figure out what it was that I wanted to do. And I think that, and I think in that way I was better able to accompany drums and guitar and bass, in a more fluid way.
yeah,
Okay.
definitely taking more time to think about it as opposed to just thinking about it at practice playing together.
Yeah.
Yeah, the I guess the input I can give on this, even though I haven't been a part of the process before, is when they were writing a lot of the instrumentals, I kind of asked, like, how did you guys write lyrics for these other two albums? And the answer I got was we just like wrote some stuff down and then we just did it in the booth. We recorded the instrumentals and did the vocals. We didn't plan anything. So there was a little bit more time spent thinking about how the vocals should go.
What about like musically?
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
play that stuff.
No. All of us have just like a deep love of the genres adjacent to it. It's just like extreme music in general and like not extreme music in general, you know? And I think all of us during this time were very desperate to write something beautiful and meaningful. And that meant connecting ideas melodically and rhythmically and thematically in a way that really was pushing ourselves. I know that's such a cliche, but it was like really going to that edge of what was comfortable and trying to find that new harmonies, like new chord progressions, and having a non-repeating track that builds the entire time. Like so many bands that we love, like Between the Buried and Me, like, you know, Fuck the Facts, who are just so unsung.
Circle takes the square.
Like Circle Takes the Square, you know?
Just like so much chaos, but still songs that you can hum, or songs that have like a through line through them.
Yeah.
That are like endlessly listenable and like very noisy and chaotic, but still hits you in the gut and like feel like there's a melody running through it.
To get even a little bit more musical, like High School Music Theory, this was definitely like the album. This is much more than Know How. I felt I wanted to write things that wouldn't sound like they would be on a metal record or a hardcore record. And that meant drifting towards things with a major tonality and like exploring the differences of like the dominant seventh versus like the natural seventh and how they can be used like differently. It was something I was thinking a lot about, Jeff. You can shake your mullet all you want.
You're speaking a language that I will never understand.
Yeah. Well, so like,
Oh, by the way, Jeff, the other Jeff,
Jeff Wilson?
from Potsdam.
yeah, Jeff
Yeah,
He's
Wilson.
in the chat.
Nice.
Oh,
Hi,
hey,
Jeff.
Jeff.
The Jeff.
Yeah.
What's up? I know that when I was writing guitar parts, I was really, I definitely come from like more of like a metalcore background, more hardcore background. So that's kind of the stuff that I fall back into very easily when I'm trying to compose new guitar parts. But this time around, I was really trying to think like, what would Carter play, or what would Carter like, or what would Jim like? And not always hitting that mark, but once we came together, finding that happy medium.
It was never about what I would like.
Well, I knew that you'd kill it, so.
Fuck yeah.
I don't know why, but Ethan, you're getting cut off hardcore again, man. You're not even in the frame anymore, bud.
He keeps getting too comfortable.
You can just tilt the camera. Oh, there we go. Even sitting down on the floor. I like that too. Okay.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Sorry, Chris.
No, it's
I
all
hope
good. It's all good.
I hope this is not the first time that you've had to tell a band like, yo, you guys need to get a little bit more compact.
It might actually be.
Whatever.
So, to me, you guys sound like a completely different band than the one that was on No Hell. Like, I don't know if
I
maybe
agree.
it's
I mean-
just the production, but it feels like No Hell was way more hardcore and was a lot darker feeling. And this one, it's way more bright and more fun and like rock and
Yeah.
roll and stuff, you know?
No, I definitely hear that.
A lot of people also compare it to Every Time I Die, and like I don't think it's quite that. Like, I think that's just like the easy thing to point to, but like I'm not super deep into the southern metalcore or mathcore metalcore stuff, so I can't really compare it to too many things. There's this band from back in the day called The Esoteric. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. Early Prosthetic Records release. Y'all sound a lot like them. The thing that really makes y'all stand out for me is the reverb on the guitar. Like it's on there for most of the material, I would say, and it kind of like, I don't know, adds this like atmosphere to it. Like you play with atmospherics really, really well, and I think that's like the big thing about you guys.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think you focus more on like actually making like melodic, memorable songs and good atmospheres rather than breakdowns. I think that's like the strong suit with you guys. But you guys do still go hard on the songs and stuff. It's just I think that's your big thing. You ride this fine line between like mathcore and post-hardcore, I feel like. And yeah, pretty original sound. I think it's a really, really strong record. Really interesting. I don't think I've heard a band that quite sounds like you guys, but maybe that does exist, but I haven't heard it before. So I think.
Well,
Thanks, Chris.
yeah, thank you. I'm not going to bring up that band.
Speaking of the breakdown thing, one time when we were hanging out with Topon, who put out our record on Noise Salvation from Fuck the Facts, he told us, if everything is heavy, then nothing is heavy, and if everything is fast, then nothing is fast. And I'm sure that was just something he thinks about all the time and has maybe said a dozen times before, but I know it super resonated for me, and really changed the way I wanted to approach writing heavy breakdowns, writing fast parts, writing melodic parts. Like, I don't know. I think if I hear a band who's just oppressively heavy nonstop, it doesn't do a fucking thing for me.
Boring.
Yeah.
I like that.
Bands have this problem where they're just like blast beating the whole time. And it's like, okay.
I mean, I do like heavy bands like that, like Admiral Angry, Black Sheep Wall, where it's just like an onslaught of just like bwah, bwah. Sleep, Dope Smoker, like it's heavy and it's just constant, and I get what you mean. Like it does get oversaturated where it's like this isn't doing anything for me.
Yeah.
I definitely get that.
Yeah, I feel like y'all are kind of like a breath of fresh air for like the mathcore genre. I can't think of a band that's that's rock and roll riffs in the middle. Yeah, it's so fucking sick. Like,
Thanks, man.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
I think the No Hell, like the brand new, I think that was like the precursor.
It was.
Yeah,
the,
for
the
sure.
Proto, all these songs,
But-
and me like the entire album.
Well, you don't know, Jeff, too, is that when we were recording 1963 with Topon, and Mel, and I can't stress this enough. Topon and Mel have done so much for us. Fuck the Facts is just like such an unsung band. Anyway.
Oh hell yeah! No, they're great band. Great band.
Yeah. But just hanging out with Topon at night, and we were just having a beer and just like decompressing after the day recording, having a good time. And Topon asked, like, what do you want to put on? And Ethan suggested, like, oh, how about some CCR? And Topon said, I love CCR. And like, he loves to put it on when he was driving. And I feel like that planted a seed for us. It's just like, yeah, CCR is kind of timeless and like heavy and hard and
they have
punk.
fucking punk songs.
Yeah, yeah.
That's no shit. Like,
I've never heard of CCR before. What is that?
Creedence
Clearwater Revival.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sure I've heard a song
have you
by
ever
him,
watched
but
a movie set during Vietnam?
Traveling band, Who'll Stop the Rain. Have you ever seen the rain?
okay, no, these songs.
Fortunate Son, Down on the Corner.
Really? Okay, yeah.
CCR is my all-time favorite band.
Okay.
And
He puts guns to sound people's heads and says, play CCR or else we're not playing. We want you to play. We're playing CCR now.
no, but like, I think we all like CCR, and the way that they write songs is definitely an influence on me.
It's fucking heavy.
Yeah.
And it's yeah. It's not like
I love the oldies stuff too. Like that shit's great, man. Oldie but goodie. Hell Baby says, I'm so glad you're bringing the sound back. I hear hopes fall.
I don't know who that is.
No, yeah, I've heard a few people reference the Satellite Years, and I just haven't listened to that album enough, but I'm definitely checking it out based on the feedback from people for sure.
We could listen to it tomorrow.
Good.
So we've gone over a little bit of the influences, but what would you say are your big influences for sound?
Oh, for me, definitely, I've been absolutely gaga about the OCs for the last 5 years. And I've been thinking constantly, is this like, how can I bring this like chaotic rock and roll, like uncontrollable rock energy to the band that we play in and not make it seem tacky or like forced? And so OCs were a huge influence on me over this time, big time.
Cursed, absolutely, especially Cursed 2, which is the heaviest album of all time, but also the most patient album of all time. Like they build up a lot of stuff and really like give you an exceptional payoff. Chris Colahan is like top tier vocalist. Every single member of that band is out of this world good at what they do. And also the fucking guitar tone on that record is
so mint.
2 by Cursed. I Love Every Time I Die.
Why'd you have to say it?
I do. I mean, he's asking what our influences are. They are. And it's true. Creedence Clearwater. Also love BT Bam. Poison the Well. Especially You Come Before You.
What were you guys thinking about writing this album?
I was just gonna add in Circle Takes the Square. I don't remember if that got
Circle Takes the Square.
It's a very common ground for all of us.
I think as far as like bands who I try to learn from, like I don't know, I listen to a lot of fucking music, man. But not that much. I listen to the same 3 90s alternative albums. I like Built to Spill a lot. I like Joanna Newsom a lot. As far as like metal bands, Chat Pile's really good, but you listen to our stuff and it's like, obviously I'm not influenced by that.
You love Stone Temple Pilots?
I love Stone Temple Pilots. Okay, yeah,
I
Stone
love
Temple
Stone Temple
Pilots is up there.
And I think if we tell someone that you love Stone Temple Pilots after they've listened to our record, they'll go, that makes sense.
Yeah. Like Ethan already said it, so I'm allowed to say it now. I like Every Time I Die. They're a good band. They have good riffs. The Big Dirty, which I think turned 15 today, is my favorite album by them. But I find no musical influence in how Keith Buckley does vocals. I guess it's just a coincidence that I sound like him. It's because I'm from New York. I'm from New York that's not New York City.
It's just something in the water up there.
Yeah. But yeah.
Who do you take influence from for your vocals? Or does it just happen?
That's just how it goes, man. I've been playing in bands. God, I'm 29 now. I started playing in bands when I was 16. So they've just kind of morphed over time, trying to like find my own voice. And I think this like is a really good example of me finding that voice and being able to like build off that, like the next release, I don't know if I'll do the same core style of how I'm doing it, but it'll still be there. It's just like every band that I've been a part of, I've tried to like do something more and not be stagnant. But as far as metal goes, I like Poison the Well. I like I like Every Time I Die. I like Under Oath. Like I like all these like legacy bands where they're all really good.
You
and they all
love
have very
the
distinct
Chariot.
styles.
It's
The Chariot. Yeah. I like Norma Jean's first album. I like Norma Jean's fourth album. The Anti-Mother was, I think, one of the first heavy albums I owned. It was a burned CD that I got from some guy. Yeah, it's like this really weird, like I was 14 and some guy handed me a CD. He's like, yo, I like your style. And it's like, I don't think I can do that to a kid nowadays. It's like, yo, here's a CD. Like that'd be kind of
Like your style.
weird. But like back when I was that age, it's like, okay, this guy kind of set me on a path. He gave me Define the Great Line and Norma Jean versus The Anti-Mother. The Anti-Mother is a fantastic album. But like past that, I don't know. I don't really like Norma Jean past that.
Why is that?
They got kind of boring and stale, and they became like a gent band.
Yeah.
Which there's some good gent, but I couldn't name them.
I was just gonna say name good gent.
Meshuggah.
Hey, no,
Born of Osiris, Early Veil of Maya.
Born of Osiris was great. Yeah. Animals as leaders is still gent.
I find influence in everything, but it's less practical and more lyrical. I guess that's a good way to put it.
Hell Baby says thank you for not genting.
We're gonna gent on the next album.
So fucking
Gent the
hard.
fuck out of that
drop
album.
A.
What haven't we done? We've done CCR, we've done Cursed, we got a gent.
We can do Poison the Well next.
Carter won't let us.
Carter doesn't like Poison the Well.
Guy couldn't tell you in chat says a wise Jeff once said 3 out of every 5 New York bands sound like Every Time I Die.
That's right.
Yep.
And the other two sound like Madball.
So who handled the lyrics? Was it like a group effort or?
Carter wrote a full song by himself. I kind of threw it together. Ethan wrote a good 70% of the lyrics that are used on the album. I wrote, I think 2 songs are credited to me like completely. And then Jim has a couple lines that are in there. And then there's a lot of like meshing where it's like stuff got cobbled together. It all kind of fit the same theme and it all sounded really good together. It all there's some things where it seems like it built off of other things people have written, but it wasn't. We have all our lyrics separated by person. So you have to find the common theme going on. Okay. But there's a lot of full songs. Like Ethan wrote the entirety of the title track, except for
one line.
Yeah, except
2
for
lines.
Two lines. Yeah.
Carter's line and Shania's line.
Yeah. Carter wrote the line. What is it? Right before the clean
I can't
stand to be here, but I can't bear to leave you. That's Carter. Shania Twain has a credit where I say they said I bet they'll no. Yeah, they said I bet they'll never make it. That's Shania Twain. You're still the one I love. But the rest of that song besides those is Ethan.
Still the one I love is a hell of a song though. So like,
It's
Fucking A, it is.
There are 4 people we stole lyrics from, and 1 person we stole the title of the album from.
Oh,
If you can name all
where's that
5,
one from?
you get the secret.
No. This one's important. Title of the album came from a fantastic book of poetry by Ann Carson called Autobiography of Red. Ann Carson is like a professor of Greek studies and logic, Greek classical studies. And she wrote this incredible book of poetry called Autobiography of Red. Anybody I've given to has loved it, except Ethan. He never finished it. But the original line was, all these darlings said Garyon, who is like the protagonist of the novel, and now me. And that's where that came from.
I was kind of wondering if Jeff did the title because he's like joining this band. He's like, there's all these darlings and now me.
I'm not the artist here.
Carter suggested it. He put it in our lyric doc. And I think we all kind of realized that we were writing about similar themes, like being isolated, being depressed, grieving people. And the title kind of like that line kind of took on like a different meaning, which is, like for what we were going through, everyone's fucking having a horrible goddamn time. And now I am.
Oh, okay. I like that. I like that a lot. So hold up. So this was recorded, mixed, and mastered by Urian Hackney at the Boxing. Urian. Okay.
Urian, yeah.
Ryan Hackney at the Box in Burlington, Vermont. So how was that experience?
10 out of 10. The parking situation was great most days. So I'll give it 5 stars.
So Urian actually he recorded and mixed it, but it was mastered at God City by Zach Weeks.
Urian is just like, well, I think the best thing is that he kind of innately understood the rock and roll vibe that we were going for initially, and like he didn't mic.
I don't think he expected that.
No, but I think he was way on board with it, and he didn't mic up the guitar amp like you would really like a metal amp. Like he really let the bass come from the bass, and instead we get like this warm middle and treble sound from the guitar. Whereas normally I like a fat, round, bassy. I play a dual recto. I like that fat sound, and I was surprised at first when he did it, but then when I heard it like in the mix of the whole thing, I was just like, oh yeah, this is fantastic. These are incredible choices he's making.
That might be like why the album sounds like that then. Okay, that's so cool. Huh.
Yeah. But Uriah is just like the nicest guy, and he's also the most talented guy. Like he toured with Converge. I don't know what sort of, I would never be able to fill in for Ben Kohler, even if I had the skills to do so, because the pressure would be too much. I just couldn't handle that. And Uriah was not only crushing it, but he was also like goofing on Converge the whole time. And he's just like such a fun, positive energy to be around, but also an incredibly brilliant musician, performer, and arranger. It was such a dream to work with him.
Yeah. As far as like the drums go, I've definitely said this before, but when I was having my initial conversations with Urian, we were just talking about records that have fucking amazing drum tone. And he very much was like, the very first thing that we're going to do when we get into the studio is make the drums sound good. And then we'll get everything else, because if the drums sound good, we'll be all set. And selfishly, like I agreed, but Urian is a drummer first and foremost.
Yeah.
So like that is the place where he was coming from, but also like he built his studio from the ground up. It's such a crazy, like it's difficult to explain like how crazy a DIY operation his studio is, but like he built the floating floor in that from reclaimed materials and like spaced out the floor levels with hockey pucks. Like it's a beautiful studio. The sound is incredible. And he learned from like literally the best people who are working in metal and mathcore, which is Kurt Ballou.
That's one person, but yeah.
Fair enough. Just overall, such an incredible experience. And there was never a time where it was like, yeah, we don't have time to try that. Let's move on. It was, that performance can be a little bit better, so let's make it a little bit better.
Yeah.
If we were like, what about hand claps on this song? We'd spend an hour working on hand claps. Like it was excellent.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I hadn't heard his name before. Is he like done other albums and stuff?
He's done stuff with his other band, Rough Francis.
Yes.
And The Armed.
Yeah.
Oh, did he do The Armed? Holy shit.
Yeah, he's. I actually found that out like the week before we went to record.
Yeah, he does. And even when they were working on that live mix for Adult Swim, he was doing that. He was doing that engineering. So he is extremely talented, extremely funny, wonderful person to work with.
What really turned us on to his to using his studio though was just listening to some of his own solo recordings. Like this song that he recorded during the pandemic called Stuck. I think, I had shared that with Carter.
The Biscuit song.
No.
And I think I'd shared that with Carter. It was just like, what the fuck? This sounds so good. This is the sound that we're looking for. Like, Marvin Berry. What, Jeff?
Caitlin said I'm doing great.
It was like, God damn it, Jeff.
I'm sorry.
We listened to a couple of his solo recordings, and
Yeah.
it was like, this is the sound that we've been looking for. Called Jeff's cousin on the phone, and
It's your cousin Marvin Sunflo'er.
And yeah, it was just like, that's what we're gonna do, especially because we didn't have the option to go to Ottawa anymore.
Yeah.
Because the border stuff was so confusing and difficult. We started looking at other options, and Urian was basically it. I don't think we ever seriously considered going to anyone else other than him.
Well, there's people in Syracuse. There was friends that were willing to do it for us, and that would have been a fine job. But
there was that. I can't remember his name. This is the guy in New York City. Don Sure.
Oh, anyway.
I don't know if you guys know.
But we were just so elated when Urian confirmed to record with him. It was just, very happy.
Yeah, he did a really good job, and I feel like he's a big reason why the record sounds as good as it does. Okay.
1,000%.
Sure.
Wait, can I give away the little Easter egg on Straight to VHS? I don't know if anyone who's listening heard it. I don't know if you heard it, Chris, but in the beginning and also the end of Straight to VHS, there's piano.
Yeah.
It's just like dun, 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 dun. It's just like you can hear it. It's there.
I mean, probably, and I just didn't pick up on it.
Right, exactly.
Now you'll notice it.
Yeah.
And that's Ryan did that.
Okay. I saw that y'all have a guest. Like, I just saw this guy on the last music video y'all threw up, and I had to figure out who this guy was. Matt Sager. I still no idea where he's from. So where's Matt from?
He's actually from where
we're sitting right now.
Yeah, he's.
Like what band?
Albany. He's from a band called Becoming a Ghost and also Like Lions. He's the drummer of Like Lions and the vocalist of Becoming a Ghost. Very versatile human being.
Yes.
So why is he guessing? Y'all are just like big friends, or?
He can sing and none of us can.
That's not true.
We've been friends with Matt and the Like Lions boys. We're actually in our friend Kyle's house right now. Kyle is in a band with Maddie. Like
Kyle,
Lions.
come on screen. Come on, Kyle. Kyle's been doing our AV. He's been fixing things tonight. This is Kyle.
He is the vocalist of Like Lions, who Maddie is the drummer for.
Yeah. So we're in Kyle's house right now. We've been friends with these guys for like 10 years.
And Kyle is not jaded at all that we didn't ask him to do it.
No,
but when we went to go record in Burlington, Matt was living there at the time, and he was like 45 minutes away. We had tried to get Matt on No Hell, and it just didn't work out. And we had written this really melodic part to close out the record, and we thought that Matt's voice would be perfect for it, and it is.
Yeah, you did a very good job.
Yep, and he just nailed it in less than 3 takes. I think it was like any takes he did, it was 1 or 2. He's an extremely strong vocalist. Love you, Maddie, forever.
I actually wanted my vocals on that part. My whole plan was I'm going to record the singing. Maddie will record over it, and then we'll take me out. And that didn't happen. I am not a singer.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
I sing in the car.
You do great at karaoke.
I do karaoke.
You sound great on that song.
Yeah, I think you did great.
No,
Man, I've seen you live twice now, and I think you sung.
We're far past the point where I can change it, but my thought at the time was I have never sang in a band. Maddie sings.
Maddie sings. So Maddie's a good friend.
Yeah. It did a great job.
So you had your album artwork done by Jordan B. Ricks, and we got it up on stream now. What are we looking at exactly?
When the Booty.
Yeah. Jordan has been, this is the only way I can answer this. Jordan has been a great friend of us since 1963. He did the artwork for 1963, No Hell, and this album.
Okay.
And he was a just great friend I met, and we had lots of talks about just abstract art and the nature of like inspiration and creation. And so when I saw that image from Jordan, I did not feel as if, so here, like this is the No Hell cover here, but like here in the artwork is Jordan's artwork. Thank you, Kyle, for handing this to me. And this is also 1963, but especially 1963 too. It's very ambiguous, it's abstract. And I think that's how we write our music. I think that's how we write our lyrics. And Jordan has always seemed to have gotten that. And the image, I don't feel comes from any specific place, but I knew that it, and I think a lot of us really agreed that it captured just the essence of what was going on in the album really well.
No, it does. Yeah, it fits so well. I guess it's a sunset like kind of palette or whatever, but that looks really good. I don't know, it's perfect. Actually, with No Hell, I honestly had no idea there was actually art behind the letters until I was looking into you guys more. But
yeah, you actually have to buy a pin, an enamel pin from Sunflo'er, which I don't think they have anymore.
No, they were so beautiful.
Isn't that like the full album art, just like condensed into a pin?
But also
it's just like a little. It's got some pink in it. It's got green. It's got white and black, and like it's just nice, cute little thing.
Yes.
Oh, that's
the LP has the insert of the full artwork, and this is part of the image.
Huh?
And then here's the lyric sheet on the other side. So by No Hell, we're on tour.
Yeah.
Guy couldn't tell you in chat says the most talented artists are always so humble. You guys are incredible. Really
You're
ticklish
incredible.
says
I love myself. I'm now humble.
really ticklish says facts, that cover art is 10 out of 10 with a mood. And Hell Baby says scratch and sniff.
Real quick, Jordan's Instagram is moondogs.club. Moondogs.club. It's a little off the. It's now
Jeff put it in the chat.
Yeah, but Jordan, all of his stuff is just abstract, but really well executed in a way that just drives me insane. I encourage everybody to check him out.
You also did 3 music videos. We're gonna show the last one, the one for the one for All These Darlings and Now Me, your last one.
You want to watch it together with us?
Well, I'm watching it now. I can't show you guys at the same time. I'm not sure how to do that. If there's a way I can do that. If you look at the stream, you can see it's playing.
Share your screen.
I'm not sure how to do that.
Also on the stream too. No.
But tell us about this video.
I'll pass it off to you after this, but I think the biggest thing to shout out is the person who did the cinematography for Crypt Fucker and the title track, All These Darlings Now Me. He's a fine guy by the name of Gulab Singh, and the reason that we were made keen to him is he played in a legendary to us Oneana band named Cattle Drums.
They're so fucking good.
Whose vocalist originally drummed in Monster Machismo, who put out a legendary math rock album when they were like 18 years old. But Cattle Drums has since disbanded. You know, I have always been a giant fan of them. And then I think mentioned to you one day, like, Gulab does camera work.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
And then I feel like you picked it up from there.
Yeah. So he did a bunch of music videos for our buddies and Johnny Booth.
Booth.
Yeah.
Shouts out Johnny Booth.
Shout out Johnny Booth. Those are the boys.
So when we finished doing the record and we started talking with Christian about
they played right where I'm sitting.
In this room.
actually the last show that any of us played before the pandemic was right in this room with Johnny Booth.
Yeah.
And Like Lions.
Yeah.
Which is so fucking sick.
I stage dived off of a step ladder onto Ethan's head during the intro to Thief by Johnny Booth so I could get the mic for the beginning.
Yeah. And Booth uses it in promo photos all the time.
Yes.
But yeah, so once we started planning music videos and stuff for, I'll let Jim talk about Crypt Fucker in just a second, but since you're on All These Darlings, we started talking to Gulab about coming up and filming. And for this we actually weren't going to do a third video because we were fucking super strapped financially. We had no time left. And, we were like, well, if we're going to do this right, if we're going to put everything behind this record, we might as well just give a little bit of extra. So we were looking for a place to film. We reached out to our friends at the St. Lawrence County Arts Council, where we're from in Potsdam. And they let us use the basement of their new arts gallery. We had Gulab come up. I had this really kind of like loose concept of just doing really hyper tight claustrophobic angles with fast edits for the first half. And then a big wide open look for the back half of the song, which is really melodic and pretty. We just spent 3 evenings, like after 4 o'clock until like midnight for 3 nights in a row. just filmed it really fast, and then Jim edited it. And yeah, but the first video was also done by Gulab, but it was Jim's concept, which kicks ass.
Tell him, Jim.
Thank you.
Yeah, tell him.
Well, the end of last year for the Crip Fucker music video, I had thought of an idea to just do a parody of the Say Cheese and Die episode of Goosebumps.
Which
And-
in itself is kind of an offshoot of a Twilight Zone episode. So shout out Serling. We jocked your shit.
Sometime last year, I thought it would just be great to do a music video and really emphasize Jeff joining us and him being a photographer and so well known for that. So I really held on to.
Thank you. You butter my biscuit. I hate this so much. You're buttering my biscuit in the right way.
We're actually playing Crip Fucker on this.
Oh, nice.
No, I painted granite fields myself.
What the fuck is a Pollyanna brush?
I'm something of a granite field myself.
Let Jim finish.
So I held on to that idea, and then Jeff perfectly got like a custom Polaroid printer for his camera. And I was like, this is perfect. I really need to push for this to be like the first music video that we do. And luckily Gulab could shoot it for us and knew what he was doing more so than we did. So he took the overall idea that I had and figured out how to shoot it all together and edit it together himself. And actually Carter had just gotten COVID right before we were shooting it, so we had to scramble around to figure out shooting our stuff and then one day of shooting with Carter.
Was it just one day?
Yeah.
We
did
filmed 2 days
yeah.
without
Yeah,
Carter,
yeah.
and then he was out of isolation, and we filmed all of Carter's stuff and all of our performance stuff in like 7 hours.
I
Marathon
like how
day.
you're just like
Not just
telling
7
me this
hours.
like I wasn't there the whole time, but it happens. I have a terrible memory. I feel like that music video, there was so much more effort there than there was for the title track. Like as far as filming and like redoing shots, it seems like the title track just kind of flew by and we got all the shots we needed to. It was just like we did a lot of singular shots, and we did every shot we have in that video that's used. There's an entire performance of that one shot, and there's about 3 or 4 different takes for each shot of each person.
Yeah.
So there's like 9 hours total worth of footage of us just playing the song individually, and then like 3 hours worth of us shooting the band, the second half of the video.
Oh, I think it's a fucking amazing video. It's such a really good one to start out with. I do have a question though. I think we talked about this personally when we were like playing shows together. But what's with the Ritz crackers with cheese on them? Is that like a New York thing? Or?
We just, we smoke a couple chocolate milks and we get like snacky.
No, what really happened is originally in the video,
It's budget issues. That's what it is.
no, it wasn't that at all. It was the original thing for the video was Jim was going to be like choking on. Jeff was going to come in, take Jim's photo, and Jim was going to be choking on like Five Guys or something. But
Choking up 5 Guys. What is that?
but like when we were talking about it, it didn't really seem like it would track that well. So our buddy Cody really loves his late night snack is Ritz crackers with cheese toasted on them. So
Just thrown into a dirty microwave.
I've never
that's
heard
what
of
we
that
did.
before. Oh my god.
Yeah, try it.
Chris, you don't smoke, right?
Nah.
You wouldn't get it. Straight up, like, you won't get it.
Right.
I don't smoke. But you used to.
Well, yeah, like
Yeah, but Chris hasn't.
oh,
He wouldn't get it.
Oh, I've used to, but I
So
don't anymore.
how do you not?
I used to.
No, because that's fucking awful. That's how I don't get it. Like, Ritz crackers with cheese on it sounds so bad.
It was also like one of the few things that we actually had around when the idea turned into me burning my hand. It was
Yeah,
like,
we
well,
did-
what am I cooking? It's like, fuck it, we got crackers and cheese.
didn't buy
Reference to
a
our friend. So we just went with it.
It's a really good video. That one came out really, really well.
A lot of people told me that it was really funny, and they're like, "You can't make another goofy video." And I'm like, "Yeah, but like, this one's funny.
Yeah.
The other ones are good. This one's funny, so like it's got to go for that."
You did another one. What was it? What was the song?
Straight to VHS.
Straight to VHS. There
and
we
it's
go.
shot on VHS, and all the secondary footage is ripped from VHS tapes that Carter's brother actually sold to us, gave to us. I don't know.
So my brother, shout out Charlie.
Carter's brother looks like Ethan's brother, which is very confusing when we're all together.
Anyway, so Charlie, my brother, just great friend throughout my entire time on this planet. He's my older brother. Is really into very avant-garde, ambient, and just found footage types of things. And just over the last several years he lives in Ithaca. He's been going to Ithaca Goodwill or like Ithaca Reuse and just buying their VHS. The weird like infomercially like bizarre holiday special
Ford Windstar van.
Yeah, or like how to fight bullies sort of VHSs. And like that one was starring Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and it was sponsored by the FBI. I don't know how that happened. But anyway, so I love him because he didn't just do that, but he also did the labor to rip all of those in as like maximum quality to like, he's got about like, I think upwards of 3 terabytes of VHS footage that he's just been ripping throughout the years. And we just paid him for like a collection of like 15 of like ones he would thought would be appropriate for the straight to VHS video. And we got the footage that Jim used in it.
and the main footage of us performing was shot by Sarah Johnson. She, I believe, is based out of Syracuse, and she goes to a lot of DIY shows around our area, and she just has this giant VHS camera, and she buys every single one that she sees, which I adore that. Because I go to antique stores and I buy every film camera at an antique store that I find on the road. So like I love that. That she told me she has like 4 of them right now, and I'm like, yo, if I ever find one, I'll let you know.
Yeah. She's on Instagram. Always late, never lost. Underscores between each word. Jeff, drop it in the chat.
Drop it in.
Also, Charlie.
Charlie. I don't have Charlie.
Charlie doesn't have really socials.
Okay. Yeah. But she shot the performance footage at a show that actually the first actual show we played like in front of people who don't have like a devotion to Sunflo'er.
What fucking band is this?
Not the same one I'm thinking of. But you know when they play Potsdam, there's kind of like a built-in fan base. And this show was in Rochester at a DIY space, and it was like who the fuck headlined? Drowning Man headlined.
Yeah, Drowning Man.
Psyopus was there. Like it was the weirdest.
Oh, it was that show. Holy shit!
Yeah, that show. Yeah. So she filmed it in a very stinky, wet space and absolutely killed it. All the footage that she got was very usable. Look out for that on the internet soon. At some point, we're going to be releasing that.
DB Cooper was there.
Yep, DB Cooper played that show.
God damn, that's a lineup. Holy shit!
Shout out Hot Dog.
And they're gone. Oh, there we go. Now we're back. Oh, nope.
We lost you for a second.
Lost you. Yeah.
We got you.
Okay.
We're good. We're good. We're back.
Yeah, that show rocked, and Sarah did a fantastic job. Actually, I found her on Instagram and saw that she filmed local shows, and I was like, "Yo, my band is playing the show, and would you be willing to shoot our set? And can we buy it from you so we can use it for a music video?" So I don't think she's released any of the footage that she got.
No, just to us.
Yeah. No, she had none of us. No.
You should put out VHSs of that live performance.
We were thinking about that. Yeah.
I actually edited together the live performance and the random VHS rip videos for the music video.
Oh yeah, how do you I guess you have just a machine to like digitize them or whatever.
No, you do. I mean, you can digitize it.
Yeah, Charlie would do that. He would run a VCR, and he had some way to convert it into like a video capture program on his computer. And he would just run like 4 or 5 cassettes a day just to get as many digitized as possible.
That's crazy.
But then Jim did the editing of the video with performance and did a bang up job.
Gotcha. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, we were thinking of using some GoPro footage that Jim got of that show and like putting a VHS filter over it, but it didn't work.
I totally thought that's what y'all did.
So it's all VHS.
I tried to for
all
like
of it's
a
VHS.
I tried to use my GoPro shots as like a drum cam, thinking that I would need more performance shots. And when I got it to look similar to VHS, when it was right next to all the actual VHS stuff, it just did not look right. So I just had to scrap that whole thing.
Yeah.
And then just purely use the VHS stuff. It took me a while to get that video together.
It came out well. Good. All your videos are good.
Thank you. Chris, I have a question that's unrelated to music. Is this interview going unnaturally long?
Oh, no. Like the best ones go
preview?
long. I had Chris Arp here. You talking about psyops? I had Chris Arp on here for 3 hours. So
Jesus Christ.
we're not gonna do that. But yeah, no,
We
this
might.
is great. This is great. We can go as long as you want to go. So you guys are about to go on tour with Dreamo, which is fucking sick. That starts tomorrow, right?
Yep. We have never met any of the people in Dreamwell.
Really? How did y'all get together then?
I have no idea how it came about. They
reached out to us.
Yeah.
After
Really? Okay.
after
Nice.
Crypt Fucker dropped, it was within the week they reached out to us, and
Really?
we're
That's so
eternally,
sick.
we're eternally grateful that they would just do something like
Was it
that.
really that long ago? That was like April.
Yeah. Yep.
Jesus
Yep.
Christ.
And
My
we
boss
were
is pissed about this. I must have asked back in April for this time. My boss is so fucking mad about this.
Did you want to call him out by name, or you don't want to do that?
My boss's name is Mike.
don't
He's
do
actually
it.
a great guy. I won't say his last name because you can find him easily on Facebook, and I don't want him to get any hate. He's a great guy. He is my boss, so like points off, but also he lets me do band stuff.
Hell yeah! Shout out to Jeff's boss. But
Now, if you
no,
wanna
you guys in
shout someone
Dreamo
out,
actually
Dreamo.
would fit really well. So I think that's a really good.
Yeah.
Also, we're originally going to play the St. Vitus show, but Carter is really into glassing.
Carter's
And we
fanboy our
asked
way
if
onto
we
that
could
one.
Get onto that.
I fucking love glassing so much.
But yeah, you guys are gonna be heading up to Canada and shit. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I
First
think
time
it's
playing in
excellent
Canada?
for
No,
this.
it's not because y'all played
No.
with Topon with Fuck the Facts, right?
Yep. Very exciting. We're going to be playing with Grubert, which is Mark Borgon, who used to be bass player of Fuck the Facts, his new band with drummer of Great Sabatini. And I forget his,
he was in the Great Sabatini.
you betcha.
Hell yeah.
And we're really looking forward to meeting up with Mark again because he did guest vocals on 1963. So it's just, shouts out to Nigel D'Souza. He says he's going to come to the show in Toronto, and we're all excited to see Nigel. So it's just,
There's actually so many people that are like, yo, I live near Toronto. I'll be there. I
Yeah.
know 6 people who are going to be at that show. A guy at the Rollo Tomasi show last night. It came from Toronto. I was like, I can't wait to see you guys.
Yeah.
Sorry.
In short, like we've always had fun in Canada. There's an incredible extreme music scene there that just you don't have to dig too hard to find it. And I had no, I'm gonna leave it right there. No, we're excited.
Bass Dad XM says, bless Sunflo'er for making my time at MIF 22 so memorable.
Hell yeah.
Hunter says, fucking Motion Mosaic was goddamn 2 hours. It was awesome. You guys are good. Yeah, you guys have played a bunch of different shows. What's the best one you guys have played?
Probably, honestly, so as we talked about very early on in this interview, we've been playing since 2010. And when we first started, we had a surprisingly robust like metal and hardcore scene in Northern New York, which is not to say that there are no bands, but there's not a whole lot happening like where we are.
There's no hardcore bands.
No.
Name one.
Okay. I can't.
All of
there is
them are
one.
by me.
But what I was trying to say is like, Plattsburgh still has like the metal nights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But especially where we are, when our band first started in 2010, specifically in Potsdam, there were like 5 or 6 hardcore bands just within 20 minutes of us. And in that time, all of them have stopped playing except us. And so, it's been like
I think that says more about them than it does about you.
I mean, it is exactly what it is. People grow up and they have families and they have careers and whatever. Like, I don't begrudge any of them, but so, shows in our area used to be very popular. We would get a great turnout for all of them. And that's just steadily declined over the years. And then the pandemic made it even worse, obviously. Coming out of the pandemic, still nothing. And the couple of shows that we've had post-pandemic have been just, okay, but not like great turnouts.
Yeah, pretty lukewarm.
And then, kind of lukewarm. They're still fun, but
people that don't go to shows, going to a show just because it's happening, but not really because they're like into the music. At least that from playing at the college, because that was the only venue before.
Mostly it was just like our friends who would come by, and that was awesome, and that's great, and we love playing for them. But this past Friday, we had our album release show in Potsdam at the same place where we filmed the last music video, the St. Lawrence County Arts Council, and it was at capacity. The place was literally sold out. It was like playing a show when I was like 18 or something. There were like 115 people crammed into this tiny space, and it was just super fucking positive. This improv noise collective opened for us called Roust, local service initiative, a division of Roust. And it was just super positive, and really felt like people were excited about weird music in our area again, which is not something that we've experienced kind of like in the last decade at all. So for me, that was my best show experience, was this past Friday. Also got to play it was my 17-year-old nephew's very first hardcore show.
Yeah.
Which was fucking super sick.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about Mauricio?
Oh, over those years, we had some ups and downs. Definitely one of the big ups was when I first started booking shows in Potsdam. We were able to get Hive Smasher and Mika's Murder and Like Lions one year. Our good buddy Kyle here, and just like Hive Smasher's album Gutter Choir is such like a legendary album. And then we were able to get Tiger Flowers in the following years, and Ethan beat all of Tiger Flowers at arm wrestling. So
I still would.
Yeah. And so if you
come to a show, you can pay $8 to arm wrestle Ethan. You don't get anything if you win, but you have to pay $8 and you get to say you beat him. You won't, but you can say that.
So I mean, there was so many other just bands I was so grateful to come to Potsdam, but looking back, it's just like, shit, we got Hive Smasher, we got Mika's Murder and Tiger Flowers in the day. And that was so Cattle Drums and Johnny Booth and Old Wounds. Yep. And it was so encouraging. Cleric. And, it was so encouraging for the time.
They're like huge. Like Old Wounds is fucking awesome. I can't believe they played up in Boston.
Exactly.
Yeah, they played before From Where You Come. From Where You Come and We Rest. That was their Death Wish release, right? Yeah. They played in Potsdam before that Death Wish.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Are they from New York?
They're from New Jersey.
Okay. Yeah.
We could keep going on like this if you'd like.
Jim, what was your best show experience?
I think to bring it back to what Ethan said, probably because it's also really fresh in my mind, but me and Ethan have been in the same area of Potsdam our entire lives. So we grew up in the local scene and have watched it gradually decline. So I think that's also why the last show that we did to start this tour and the album release and everything, seeing it do so well and see everybody showing up reminds of the heyday of things being so great in the 2000s. So it's just great to see everybody coming out, and hopefully people stick around and the scene can actually develop. So I think that's why that show is the best for me.
Oh right now. Have y'all played outside of Potsdam for the past 4 years or whatever?
We played at Index Fest.
Well, okay. Aside from that, okay, that's a thing too. Yeah.
I mean, so we did a tour 3 years ago, and we played we played the East Coast and down to West Virginia and stuff. but right after that was when we kind of took a break from playing shows and then started writing, and then the pandemic happened, and it's been nothing since then until a couple shows here and there. But
okay, well, no, that must have been a great feeling then, like playing that show and seeing people come out like for you guys and stuff like that. Like that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
it was crazy being in Chicago and having people excited to see us.
Yeah,
y'all were one of the ones I was really looking forward to.
We were the only band that wasn't. Well, there were some bands that weren't close to Chicago, but we were the furthest from the area. Like we drove
12 hours.
Yeah.
14.
14
Whatever.
Yeah. I live 11 and a half hours from Chicago, and I know that because I've driven by myself back home from Chicago, and they live 3 hours north of me.
Yeah.
Should I say my best show story?
I was gonna say, so your best one was
it had nothing to do with this band.
Great. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Do I have?
Well,
to
that's
have,
kind of fucked up, actually.
Do I have to have played the show?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Shit. I guess it might be the album release that we just did because people like
knew our lyrics and shit.
Yeah, like as Ethan said, and Ethan and Jim said, it felt like an old school show where early 2000s people would be grabbing the mic for a local band and people would be going buck wild. When we played the title track and got to that second half where you can understand what I'm saying, I got the mic stolen by Dylan
Spicer.
Dylan Spicer. They know him. I met him at the show. Actually, I think I met him at their friend's house before that, but that's neither here nor there. He stole the mic from me at the end and did there's a part where during the singing part where it gradually turns into screaming vocals, and there's just and the flood goes away, and it does the scream. He took the mic for that and absolutely fucking killed it.
Yeah.
And I was very happy to see that because it made me feel like, oh wow, this is like what shows should be like for local bands. This is how you should come out for your friends. I'm sorry for prefacing that with, it's not even with my best show story isn't even with this band, because it totally is. The worst one is not with this band.
Yeah.
My worst one is with this band.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've been in this band for 12 years. I bet it's with this band.
So is that the next?
I was gonna say, let's get to it. What's the worst show you guys have played?
The worst show I have ever played was called Hage Fest. It was a festival in the woods in Jordan, New York. The stage was made out of plywood. Most of the bands were your run-of-the-mill, we listen to K-Rock a lot bands, which there's nothing wrong with that. I love me some radio rock. Butt rock is my forte, but it's like the bad kind of butt rock that you don't want to listen to. And then there's the band that I'm in. We were called SCIO, SCIO. We released one EP. We didn't record a bunch of songs that we recorded that we wrote after that. Sorry, I've had a couple chocolate milks. But we played on this plywood stage, and we opened with a cover of Dead and Bloated by Stone Temple Pilots, which comes full circle to the whole influences thing. And like everyone was digging that cover. And there was one guy that was right touching the stage, just head banging, just, yeah, I'm fucking feeling it. And as soon as we started playing our actual music, everyone went and did whatever. Everyone left. We were like in a wooded area. It wasn't like we're in a big field. It's like you drive through the field to get to where the stage is. And then it's like, there's the stage, and then there's all these trails, and you can go do whatever. You can buy drugs from this guy who lives in an RV. So that's what everyone else did, is they bought drugs from this guy in the RV and fucked off away from us. And we left a couple hours after our set, after buying some chocolate milks from some random people and that guy at the RV. I would say it was the worst. Like, it sucked, but we got like the band name on the shirt for the show, but none of us have a shirt from that show.
Dude, there must have been some good ass chocolate milk. Holy shit.
Oh man, I was staring at the corner of a ceiling off chocolate milk and listening to Aphex Twin for about 6 hours. It was real. It was like
so calcium rich, you can't fucking believe
it. It was unpasteurized chocolate milk. Anyone else want to take the stage?
We've played like any hardcore band. We've played plenty of shows for almost no one or just the other bands, and that's all fine.
That's fine.
That does not bother
Yep.
me.
Yeah, that
in the
doesn't make
fucking-
you special. That's not at your worst
No,
show experience.
I'm prefacing this. You can preface for 10 minutes, but I can't say 9 words.
I will.
Holy fuck.
I will kiss you on the head.
Lots of shows to almost nobody. That's always fine as long as people are positive. We played the very last show of our last tour 3 years ago before the pandemic
Oh.
in New Jersey.
Oh.
The people who booked the show were rude as fuck, and they paid. We were a touring band.
The only touring band on that show.
No, there's one other. I shudder to think what they got paid. Again, don't need to get paid, but they were fucking super rude as fuck, and they insultingly paid us $4 at the end of the show, and then the local band took the lion's share.
Nice.
It was
That's fucked.
Shout out Zion from New Jersey.
Zion from New Jersey.
Yeah, you
Let's
guys-
hang out.
You guys got paid a lot of money on that show. Yeah, you guys.
Dude, that's lame they didn't give it to you. That's fucked up.
Yeah. I would. Yeah, leave it.
I hope they don't come at us now.
I mean, what I would have rather gotten
No.
nothing.
I mean, no. Any local band listening, it's just like common courtesy to give the touring band like your cut, like straight up.
It was their first headlining show. I'll give them that. Like it was their first headlining show.
Well, they're the
Of course,
local band.
they're
They
gonna
should be
get paid.
headlining.
They're gonna get paid.
It wasn't about the money. It was about them being rude as fuck. Just don't be a dickhead.
I think getting paid $4 is pretty.
No,
fucked up.
that's fucked up.
I wasn't even in the band when that happened. I was their touring photographer, so I saw that $4 and said, "I get 3 of that." By the way,
Also, we've been in car accidents. That sucked on the way to shows that were canceled. Terrible.
Jesus
But-
Christ, dude. Those-
Carter's head blew up at Mathcore Index Fest.
Yeah, I ate Jim's burrito.
Oh yeah, Carter.
Carter broke vegan
Yeah,
edge.
yeah. Carter ate meat because Taco Bell got our order. Well, we got
No.
our own order wrong. Taco Bell did great.
Yeah, they did.
Can't say enough good things about Taco
Yeah,
Bell.
Taco Bell.
Shout out
Bell
Taco
Bell.
Bell, guys. Like,
Live
Shout out
Moss.
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell and you and the club keep us going.
but Carter, what's your worst show?
Besides like the one
The
that
girl reading this.
yeah, besides the girl reading this, besides the one Jim Ethan mentioned, I guess a fun trivia is I played in a math rock band from about 2013 to 15, separate of any of these members. And the drummer of that band really wanted us to get on a college show, like outdoor springtime summer show at the college. I was like, man, not only does nobody want to hear, and we were playing some major key skronky math rock that was plenty enjoyable, but not only does nobody not want to hear that, we have 20 minutes of music that I feel great about, but they're asking us to play for 40 minutes to get the money that they're going to pay us.
Oh God.
So don't sign us up for this. Well, he did. And
Same set twice.
Yeah,
and
I
so
was
we-
about to say same set twice. Yeah, the 5-head play.
if at this day and age, that's exactly what I've done. But no, the worst part was I got there just dreading this show the whole week. Drove about half an hour from my home, got there on time, just like plenty of time to set up and get on stage. Realized I forgot my guitar. So I had to like beg, plead, and steal for a guitar from somebody, play this set nobody wanted to hear, and then have people tell me we can't pay you, and me say, yes, I know, and then leave. Oh, I was like 22, 21,
Okay.
22. Yeah, not too bad.
Oh my
Fun
God.
fact: me and Carter are from kind of the same like general area.
Yeah, no one cares.
Yeah, no one does care. But
Chris, what's the next question?
Don't be rude to Jeff.
Wow, you're so mean. I found this out and I was amazed that you were from so close to me. You're just so smart.
Jim, what about you?
I was gonna say the show in New Jersey as well, honestly. So I wanted everybody else to go first so I could think of another show, but I honestly can't.
Yep.
I will add after that show, I did do on my phone a like parody of the Black Flag, like 4 bars in their logo kind of thing. But I put $4 and then where it would say black and then flag, I put 4 and then dollars. So that was something funny that came out of it.
Yes, yeah, something good, something good.
So as far as merch goes, you guys got cassettes, shirts, vinyl for both all these darlings and No Hell, lighter sleeves up on Bandcamp. I didn't even know lighter sleeves were a thing, but that's fucking cool.
They were
John
actually,
made them.
yeah, they were done by our friend John, as you can see in frame.
Okay.
Hi, John.
3D printed them.
he also
makes
owns-
sense.
He also owns a domain, bearcostumesforhorses.com. Jeff, drop it in the chat.
And that redirects to our Bandcamp?
Our Facebook.
Our Facebook, yeah.
It is the Bandcamp.
Oh,
It's
nice.
the Bandcamp. Bearcostumesforhorses.com.
Redirects to the Sunflo'er Bandcamp.
Yep.
Drop it in the chat.
Drop it in the chat.
Something.
We also have shirts that are tour specific. John is actually wearing one. John, would you
Oh,
mind getting on your
geez.
knees in front of the camera? Show them the front. It says Sunflo'er on the front in pink, and on the back we got hardcore tough guy font, and it says "I'd rather be coughing up glass."
Oh, dude, nice. You know, I was gonna mention like that lyric. You should totally put that on the back of the of a shirt. But that's
We play competitive 4D chess.
also the art. You should use the artwork for the tour flyer, like you as like the cartoon or whatever. That should absolutely be on it.
No. That's David Foster Wallace who
That's
who
not
wrote
you. Oh my god, I
Infinite
totally
Jest.
thought that was you. Holy
The
shit.
guy with the bandana and the glasses.
Yeah.
No, that's David Foster Wallace. He actually
Wrote a book
he
that none
killed
of us have read.
himself after writing books that are at a college ×2 level. And none of us have read any of them. We just thought it was funny to call it the Infinite Jeff Tour. The book is called Infinite Jest. It's about 1,000 pages long with 20 pages of annotations, like descriptions of what's happening.
Carter trying to keep things good.
What?
Appreciate it. Trying to
He's keeping me in line.
But yeah, you had mentioned you could pay $8 to arm wrestle, whatever. Arm wrestle Ethan. But you
That's
also had
official merch.
another weird merch thing that I liked, which was the temporary tattoos, and you don't have those up on Bandcamp. So
You gotta go to a show.
I think
Oh,
we're
okay.
out of them actually.
No. What?
I thought we were out too.
Ah, jeez.
Yeah, if we're not out, we're pretty goddamn close.
I think we
You
you
give
got to
them
print
another
some up
day.
ASAP. Bring them out on
Yeah.
tour.
Yeah.
People
Too
love
late.
those. Yeah.
Too late. We can't print more. If
Nah.
We might have some. I don't know.
Yeah.
you come to a show, you might be able to get one.
So let's close this out with your album of the year so far,
God's Country chat pile.
dude. Fuck yeah, I'm with you.
I'm gonna say The Loser by Gospel, just off the top of my head.
That's another good one.
That's
Yeah.
one I gotta check out. I keep forgetting. Right.
Fucking wild. Weird vocals, very much like Chat Pile, but super cool ass album. Very cool musical stuff happening.
I don't listen to music. I only listen to podcasts.
Last podcast on the left is
Last
his album
podcast
of
to
the
the
year.
left, album of the year, 2022.
Okay. No, I'm like that too. If I'm not listening to an album for like a band I'm interviewing, I'm usually listening to a podcast. So
It's not a full album, but I really like the new Fall 50 Feet for their use of vocals on the three songs on that EP. I forget the name of it. I feel shitty for not remembering.
Meet Me Overboard, I think is what it's
No,
called.
that was the
it's
one
a
of the
song.
singles.
That was one
Well,
of the songs on
Lonely.
the camera. Lonely as we go.
Yes.
Or Lonely If We Go. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. Which that reminded me, the boys in Fall 50 Feet, two of them, Zach and Jimmy, put out an emo revival
They
EP
did.
under the name of Plastic Furnace that fucking kicks. It is so fucking fun. And very, very fond of that album, that EP this year for sure.
Oh yeah. Jeff already went. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. I went first because God's Country, if you ain't first, you're last. You gotta
no,
Yeah,
that's
it's
just
so-
really fucking good.
it's
though.
so depraved. It's so
Oh my God. It's everything I want a heavy album to be without being conventionally like metal.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We could go at length about this right now. Next question. Carter's going to start kicking me.
No, I would jump in on that for sure. Yeah.
We got
Pamela
Hunter
is
from.
about Jason Voorhees' mother. Did you know that?
Did not know
Wait,
that.
what?
Pamela, the third song off of God's Country. It's about Friday the 13th, the original movie.
Really?
Yeah. So I stare at the lake, biding my time.
Huh. Well, whenever I was listening to it, I didn't see lyrics anywhere, man. I couldn't find them on the internet.
Genius.com, bro.
Dude, they weren't up on there. I swear to God. I was just like right after
And
it dropped.
you
So
didn't
maybe
look
that
in the
was it,
last how long has God's Country been out? Minus a day, that long.
Hunter in chat is really trying to tell you guys to go on tour with Terracell, so there's that.
Oh.
Do it.
Hunter.
And
We gotta
Hell
get future
Baby
stretch.
says, yo, I would fangirl if I got to see Johnny Booth, Terracell, and Sunflo'er. So,
Get a hold of a scummy promoter to book those 3 bands, and we'll get paid
$4.
$20.
$22.
That's right.
hell yeah. At least 6. So, yeah, is there anything else you guys want to say before we head on out?
Yo, chat, I got a question for y'all. Out of the 4 members of Sunflo'er, who do you think has brother cousins, aka cousins, who are also your brothers? Put it in the chat. Give us your guess. We got Jim, Carter, Ethan, and Jeff.
If you guess correctly, we'll
Give you a high five at a show.
Give
I
you a
can't
show.
promise nothing
You
right
can
now.
arm wrestle me for free.
I was
You
gonna
can
say
arm
arm
wrestle Ethan for nothing. There is an answer to this. The answer is not nobody.
I guess my quick word, because I'm feeling especially sappy and heartfelt this week, is shouts out to the incredible extreme music and specifically mathcore community for tuning into this, for putting on all the shows you do, for putting out the sick albums you do. It's so goddamn fun to be playing in a band and have just be endlessly inspired by the people around us. It's such a delight. So thank you, everyone.
No, hell yeah. This
Shouts out to-
community's awesome, man. Really,
Yes.
like, tight knit.
When should we make this answer public?
Oh, I'm
Shouts
gonna
Green
read it
Belt
all
for-
out after we're done. Like after y'all are done saying.
Okay.
Yeah, shouts out to Dreamville.
Dreamville.
Yeah,
Taking
shout
us
out
out
to
on tour.
Dreamville.
Yeah.
We didn't
Christian
have to do
Dark
any
Trail,
legwork.
Mathcore Index for
Yeah.
doing all of this fucking work for us. For
Shout out to anyone that's let us sleep at their house ever. Whether we're on tour or just kind of being scumbags and playing one show.
Shouts out to Caitlin, yes.
Yep.
shout out to
And-
John.
and
Shout out to
Charlotte.
Kyle.
And Charlotte.
Shout out to Caitlin.
Uh,
Charlotte. The globe over there.
Shout out to Kyle. He's sitting
I said
3 feet
Kyle.
away. Shout
I
out.
said Kyle.
New Dragon Ball movie is sick. Check out the new Dragon Ball movie when you
New
get a
Nicolas
chance.
Cage movie is sick.
I didn't even know he was still
Are we
making
doing
movies.
shout outs right now?
The Bear on Hulu. Breaking
That
Bad. If you
show's-
haven't heard of that.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, 1997.
Water your plants. Even though it's an aloe plant, it still needs some water. You got to do that.
Yep. Citizen Kane. Shouts out to
Shout out
Electricity.
Channel 5.
Oh,
Shout out
Andrew from Channel 5.
Shout out Unusual Meme Compilation.
Oh, unusual memes.
Reusing
Fuck
old
yeah.
buttons instead of buying new pants.
Shout out having an old pair of jeans and then cutting them to be shorts and wearing them as shorts for 2 more years.
Hell yeah, dude.
Fuck
Well,
yeah.
same thing with t-shirts too. Ripping off the sleeves
Shout
after a
out to
while.
ripping the sleeve. This Trip the Dearest shirt that I ever hear. I bought it last night. I have never had a tougher time ripping a sleeve off a t-shirt.
It's a well-made
Because
shirt.
this is a really good t-shirt. I should not have done this. Shout out Chris De Niro for getting good t-shirts. I'm sorry for ripping your sleeves off.
And shout out whatever company made that t-shirt. It's a hell of a shirt.
Yo, shout out Spaghetti. Shout out Pork Chop. Shout out Bonesaw. Those are my cats. They're watching right now.
Shout out Mothman. Fucking
Yeah, shout
shit
out-
brand new.
Oh.
Holy shit.
Shout out Casa Diablo in Portland for having a vegan crunch wrap. It's a strip club, but it's
Shout
got a
out.
great crunch wrap.
Shout out Ann Carson. If you ever want to play in the band, give us a howl.
Shout out Kyle's cat, whose name is not known to us.
Dobie Gray.
Yeah.
Shania Twain,
Stephen
Stephen
King,
King.
Butthole Surfers,
Butthole
who are
Surfers.
all featured on this album.
Jim, you have the floor.
Thanks for having us, Chris.
And so the chat was saying, first of all, me, and I'm not part of the brother cousin thing, so definitely not. Pedestrian Tony says Jim.
No.
Exidurich. Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Says Jeff.
Nope.
I only have sisters.
Wait. Hold on. We'll tell you the answer, but then you have to hang up immediately.
I don't want to do that, but I'll show you. Pedestrian Tony says it's Jim.
Wow.
And yeah, there's all the.
No one said Carter because Carter can speak well.
It's me. Have a good night.
So if you're looking for a fresh take on Southern Mathcore, you gotta check out All These Darlings and Now Me, the new album from Sunflo'er, which jogged back last Friday through Dark Show Records. You're on Facebook, Bandcamp, Instagram, Twitter, all streaming platforms. Is there any other sites we should be sending people to?
Yo, bearcostumesforhorses.com.
Right,
bearcostumesforhorses.com.
Alrighty. As for me, you can drop my channel follow so you always know when I go live. You can also sub to get access to the interviews before they hit YouTube and streaming platforms, as well as get some exclusive emotes. You can also do that for free by attaching Amazon Prime account to your Twitter account. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. YouTube folks, if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, click on the notification bell. Don't forget to subscribe. It's a great way to support me for free. Check out my music, The Sound That Ends Creation, at soundthatenscreation on Bandcamp.com. My next guest is Cameron McBride of Your Ghost in Glass, who dropped their new album, or it was an EP actually, back in July. Join us this Wednesday, the 7th at 7 p.m. Central for the live cast. Shout out to the cat looking in the camera there. And thanks for being here, guys. Hope you had a great time.
Thanks, Chris. Thank you, everyone.
Hell yeah. And thank you guys for watching and listening.
Why take it? I'm dead like that is threatened by